The time now 6:14. It's a cold one out there this morning, Thomas.
It is a cold one. We have a northerly flow of wind. High pressure is beginning to settle in. The storm system that we saw Valentine's Day and yesterday has moved away, but it did drop a good amount of snow, especially for some of our southern and central mountains. How about Bryan Head coming in at 20 inches of snow? Eagle Point, just to the east of Beaver, 17 inches of snow. And while the northern Utah mountains didn't do quite as well as the central and southern mountains, will still take 7 inches of snow at Alta, 6 inches at Beaver Mountain, and 4 inches at Park City Mountain. So we saw some pretty respectable snow totals in the mountains, and even down in our southern valleys near Cedar City, we picked up close to 10 or 11 inches of snow. So we definitely saw a good amount of snow in the southern portion of the state, but that storm system has moved well away to our east. High pressure is building in. Winds will mainly be out of the north today, so even though we get calmer skies, we're going to be looking at chilly temperatures, but at least the winds won't be quite as strong. And on the wind gusts right now, you can see a lot of spots really not reporting too much in the way of those wind gusts. The winds were whipping around yesterday, to say the least. White Reef, 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Gunnison Ridge, 61 miles per hour. East Carbon, 50 miles per hour. Cottonwood Heights, 47 miles per hour. It was a windy day along the Wasatch Front yesterday. And in Bryce Canyon National Park, 45 miles per hour. It was blustery, and with those cold temperatures, it did not feel very nice out there. But at least this morning, as mentioned, a lot calmer conditions. This is the view from Red Cliffs Lodge in Moab. And yesterday, when I showed you this camera view, it was actively snowing. Now you have the twinkling stars, and you're starting to get a little bit of that early morning twilight. Should be a beautiful sunrise this morning across southeastern Utah. And then as we make our way into northern Utah, how about this view? Albion Basin just looking absolutely incredible. Doesn't get much better than that. Twinkling stars above, plenty of fresh snow down below. Those temperatures are cold. It's -5 in Logan, -13 in Heber City, 19 in Salt Lake, 13 in Provo, and it's even 24 in St. George. And with the winds, even though they're not as strong compared to what we saw yesterday, any small puff of wind with these temperatures will make it feel just that much colder. It feels like 9 degrees in Salt Lake, feels like -15 in Logan, feels like -6 in Cedar City, feels like 20 in St. George, and it feels like -20 in Vernal. We do have some wind chill warnings that do continue through 9 o'clock this morning, including Bear Lake and the Bear River Valley. Also for 3 of the Mighty 5 with Capitol Reef National Park, Bryce Canyon National Park, and Zion National Park. Across the parks, those wind chill values as we go throughout this morning could be anywhere between -15 and -25, especially in the high terrain of the parks. So if you're going to be heading to the national parks this morning, you might want to wait until mid-morning or even into the afternoon to do any outdoor activities, because those are going to be some pretty rough conditions out in the elements. Your dog walking forecast as we move back to the Wasatch Front, we're sitting at 19 degrees right now. I think Todd and Cooper here have the right idea. How precious are they? Kind of snuggled up right now. But as we go from the morning into the afternoon, they might be a little bit more eager to go for a walk, with temperatures eventually climbing into the upper 20s and low 30s. Daytime highs will come in about 10 to 15 degrees below our seasonal average, but with those lighter winds and mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies, at least it shouldn't feel as bad compared to what we saw yesterday afternoon. We'll mainly see upper 20s and low 30s along the Wasatch Front, low 20s in Logan. We'll see mid to upper 20s for the Wasatch, back near 30 degrees in Cedar City, 43 in St. George. Unfortunately, in Vernal, that temperature will be only climbing to 7 degrees, and we'll likely see a little bit more haze in Cache Valley and the Uinta Basin. Still looking at good air quality, mainly along the Wasatch Front. That haze will likely build a little bit going into our Friday and Saturday with mainly calm conditions, but at least with the high pressure moving away to the east, winds out of the south, temperatures will be going on a moderating trend into this weekend. Going into Sunday, we could see the haze get a little bit of a reprieve as a weak system moves in, and could see a few snow showers in the high country. But as we go into early next week, it looks like we're going to be moving into a much more active pattern, with maybe a good chance for wet weather across the state by the middle of the week. But for Monday and Tuesday, a pretty decent chance in the northern half of the state. As for St. George, it's low 40s today, upper 40s on Friday, then temperatures mainly in the low to mid 50s Saturday and Sunday, and getting close to 60 degrees on President's Day, bringing in a chance of rain by the middle of next week. Then along the Wasatch Front, low 30s for today. Get some hazy conditions for our Friday and Saturday, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. A little bit more cloud coverage on our Sunday as that weak disturbance moves in. Then we'll bring in the chance of rain and snow Monday and Tuesday, but I think on Monday it'll mainly be valley rain and mountain snow if that system moves in a little bit quicker. Then could see straight snow by the middle of next week.